mine on there? Yes. Right here.
Okay. All of mine is strictly has to do with security, a little bit of technology. Kind of got to looking around out there even before you guys appointed me the interim to the end of the year. But our leading off one is the PA system. And I have talked to Rodney, and he told me that this summer with the E-rate funds, we should be able to get it. You know, I put in a deal that the A and the Alice stands for alert. And guys, there's no way we can alert anybody out there. Rodney was out there the other day that did the Alice training, and he said Miss Martin used to have the bullhorn. And I went in there and asked Ms. Madrano where the bullhorn was, and she said, I ain't got a clue. So, yeah, there's no way, okay? We're in an isolated area. I'm not telling anybody in this room something that they did not know, but we are in an isolated area. The amount of traffic that runs up and down Highway 83 and gets backed up or whatever, we're kind of, you know, unless you're out there, you're kind of out there in no man's land to an extent. So I think security's pretty high up there. Also, I visited with Ivan. I've also visited with Rodney about 7 indoor cameras. There are cameras in there. They don't work. I think they were out there with the bowling alley. They had the bowling alley. You could see them as you come in, kind of got the angle slope on them. We do have, and I did not put this in here, and I'm sorry, but we do have a camera as you come in the front door. And that is on a monitor by Mrs. Madrano's desk up on a couple of file cabinets there that all Liliana has to do is just look up there and then she can let them in or whatever. Okay? But other than that, we do have the one that has a couple of angles in the DAP room and then the one that has a couple of angles in the computer lab. Okay? I did email Rodney the other day for a couple of things because we also had to have this in for our campus needs assessment. Dr. Little and the way it is, we're supposed to. We had to put it in there on our needs, and so that was required to be put in there. And as I told you back on April 8th, he told me that it wasn't last week, which was not a good week for anybody, any campuses last week because of testing, that we would, probably this week. And so, we can only hope that we can start getting those indoor cameras. Also, we need outdoor cameras. We only have one that works. And the one that actually does work, it's about yay big, looks like a spaceship out there. About where it will start, all the way to the fence on that north end is roughly 15, 18 yards. Okay, but as you notice, I said here that we've had a couple of the staff vehicles get keyed this year. I offered a $50 reward, and I didn't have anybody come through. I figured that was, something. But nobody knew anything about it. We have absolutely no cameras out there. We can't see a thing. If somebody peels out and throws rocks, we don't know who it is. So I'm asking if you just kind of picture in your mind on the back side, that building's not flat back there. It's actually has 2 sections to it because of an add-on here. And Joe, you may have to tell me when that happened. I have no idea when it happened back there. Long time ago. So we would have to look for a camera back there to get. So there's 2 back doors back there. One that goes in, I'm believing, on what used to be the old portion of the old bowling alley back there because it's kind of got, you can see where probably the pin setters and all those things were back in that area. It's a big storage room now. But there's a door back there, so we would need a camera back there on that door, very easily accessible. Then one over on the, I guess that would be the southwest corner, another one. I wish that we could get one camera to do both of them. There's no way, just because of the way it juts out. We do have that play area out there that Mrs. Martin was able to get in the concrete and the basketball, but we do not have any cameras. If a fight were to break out or something were to happen out there, guys, we have no way of seeing it. So we need to kind of look at that, and then as you can see, the other cameras out on the about 2 or 3 out there that would get the parking lot. I did talk to Ivan last week, and I put this in question marks, but I was like, he said that they do not mount outside cameras, and I was kind of like, really? I was kind of confused about that. Maybe I misunderstood him, or maybe he misunderstood me. So, but I'm hoping that technology could do that. Okay, I do have a quote on a monitor because for the principal's office, a large one, I still have $500. Doug says I gotta get it taken care of by Friday, so I can do that.
You run cable in there too, Coach?
Well, you know, I'm not telling anybody. Because when Dr. Little pulls up, he's clicking on those pretty little cameras, okay? But they would take care of it because, as Ivan said, you know, I'm looking at getting 2 DVDs, or two DVRs, I'm sorry. Dating supplement there. 8-track, we get 8-track stereo in there too, you know. But one for the outside cameras, which would be about 7, and one for the inside cameras. And but I do have one down at Radio Shack, and I haven't gotten it yet. It wasn't until after we put this out there. Our biggest problem is the one right there, a monitor that I put up there in or near the counselor's office, because if you're down in the eating area, the main portion of the top of Texas out there, and someone comes to the door, you hear the buzzer going and everything, you turn that corner right there and there they are, okay? And I would like, and Ashley and I have talked, and Mrs. Madrano and a couple others out there have talked about putting a small monitor. I believe I put something up there, maybe, I don't know, maybe 36 inch, maybe whatever, just small, so that we could see who was standing at the door off that camera out there in the hallway between the outside door and the security door, okay? Because that is absolutely a blind corner. We thought about it one time, putting it in the counselor's office, but if the counselor is in there, we can't go in there looking in there if the door's shut or if she's not there. So we're kind of looking, putting it in a central place. So all we got to do is look at it, and that's again just for safety reasons. Other than the smart TV that I've gotten a quote from on Radio Shack, the 7 outside cameras and inside cameras, Rodney told me was $126. The two should be DVRs. I'm sorry. Again, I'll go back old school. Would be about $225 a piece, which would be right at $450. The monitor maybe not have to be 36 inches, but kind of talking to Ivan today, he said, you know, the more you can see from a little bit of a distance, because if you actually got to it, it would probably be just about from here to that door. Okay, because we're wanting to mount it right beside the wall, right beside the door going into the wall, between that and that area right there, so that they would be able to look at it without turning the corner and being in harm's way. I'm estimating, and I may be underestimating here, between $2,000 and $2,500. One thing that was thrown to me, asked to me this afternoon, eventually, not this year because security is more important, maybe get that parking lot striped so make it look a bit better. But other than that, you know, kind of like I said earlier, being outside and or being out where we were at and everything, you need a little bit of security out there, because what everything runs up and down that road out there, and sometimes you pull out of there, and if you want to go to the right, you better have 30 minutes on the end, because you're not going to get to that first traffic light out there. Okay, anybody have any questions? Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'll just add, those